We are purchasing a home at the end of the month. And so I'm, constantly listening to all this great information you guys share on Clubhouse. And so you asked, is anybody in that current situation? And that's us.
Miss Olita, as you're looking at that information, you're closing. So they usually send out your disclosures 3 days before closing. You haven't gotten that yet. But have you done any looking into the amount of interest you're going to have to pay on your loan? Have you looked at that at all?
It looks like I think it's 5.5%.
5.5% interest. But do you know how much interest that's going to translate to? How much interest you're going to have to pay?
No.
Would you like to know?
Yes, I would.
Okay. And would you also, after we wake you up from fainting, would you also like to know what to do about it?
Absolutely, yes.
So let's go ahead and we're going to put your information in about your new loan in here, okay? And let me tell you, Miss Lolita, when you found out that your interest rate was 5.5, how did that make you feel?
Not great.
Let me tell you, I love your 5.5.
Yes, sir.
I absolutely love it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why here. So tell me, what is the amount of money you're going to be borrowing?
It'll be 386.
386,000 at 5.5. Here is just the principal and interest payment. This does not include taxes and insurance. Your payment is going to be $2,191.67, Miss Lolita. Okay? That's just the principal and interest. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, let's scroll down here and take a look at 386,000 at 5%. The bank wants total interest paid. This is the last line on the left side. How much interest does the bank want from you total over 30 years?
$403,001.20.
Miss Lolita, is that more in interest than you're borrowing in principal?
Yes, it is.
Does that look like 5.5% to you?
No.
It does not. So if you borrow 386,000 and you pay back 386,000 in interest, what is the real interest rate here?
100%.
Come on, sister. Listen, I don't need to do math. I don't need to know math to know that. Listen, if you look over to the right, we've figured it all out for you. How much is it exactly?
104.404%.
Listen, I think that's even more than payday loans.
Right.
Yes. Do you want to pay all that interest?
No.
All right. Let me show you something here. All right. How you can control your interest rate. And for a lot of my clients, by the time that we figure out how much interest they're going to pay, we take that 5.5%. We take that down to like 1% or less. How would you like that?
I would love that.
How would you like that without having to refinance?
That would be amazing.
Ooh, how would you like to do that and not affect your lifestyle?
I didn't even know the word to use to describe that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Lifestyle is, you pay your bills and everything, and then you still have a little bit of money to go shopping with.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And vacations.
Yes.
Okay. Getting your hair done and nails and stuff.
Fixing up the backyard.
Fixing up the backyard. We don't want to touch any of that money. You'll still be able to do all the things that you would like to do and still manage to pay a lot less interest. So we can treat this like you are paying 1% or less. You want to know how to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we're going to scroll down to payment number one because I'm going to need your help on this. All right. So I'm at payment number one, and payment number one, we're paying $422.50 on principal out of that money. Out of all the money you're going to be paying, only $422.50 goes to principal. How much goes to interest?
$1,769.17.
How does that make you feel?
Terrible.
Okay. Now, here's what I need you to know, and you can write this down. And folks, you can clip it. Interest payments you skip don't matter. Miss Lolita, will you repeat that after me? Interest payments you skip.
Interest payments you skip don't matter.
Don't matter. Okay. So they can put all the interest up there they want, can't they?
Yes, they can.
All right. Let me ask you a question. So if you had a brand new credit card and it was 7% interest, okay, and a brand new credit card, and you charged that thing up by $2,000, but you paid it all off next month, how much interest would you pay if the interest rate was 7%?
0.
Okay. What if it was 15%?
0.
What if it was 25%?
0.
50%?
Zero.
It doesn't matter how much interest they want, does it?
Not at all.
It's how much interest you end up paying that matters, correct?
Yes.
Ooh, does it sound a little better now?
Yes.
All right, watch this. So if we make that very first payment of your mortgage, we make that very first payment, okay? And let's say we make that payment in January. February's principal payment is how much money?
The print 424.44.
Do you have to wait till the next month to give the bank that $424?
No.
If you had it, could you give it to them in
Yes.
January? See, now here's the key. I'm talking about after you're going to build in a budget to have some fun. I mean, like date night. How large is your family, may I ask?
It's just my husband and myself.
Okay.
We're newly grandparents, though, so we'd love to spoil that little one.
Ooh, there you go. Okay. Girl or boy?
Girl.
Come on now. Watch out. Go. Listen, I feel sorry for you when grandpa gets a hold of the little girl. Lord have mercy. You're going to need some money.
Right, exactly.
Okay. So here's what we're talking about, folks. After we spoil the grandchild, okay? Then after date night, after vacations, after we've had some fun, that's when we start paying bills. Ooh. So we're going to put lifestyle first. Lifestyle is first. And then we're going to do what? We're making sure that we pay the bills. We're going to make sure that we pay at least minimum payments on the loans, right? Got to do that. We're going to continue to put money away for savings. That's number 2. Okay. We're still going to make sure that we pay the rest of the bills, electricity, got to buy food, got to do all these other things.
Yes.
Okay. And so what else is there? So we're going to have some fun. We're going to put money away for savings. That's number 2. We're going to make minimum payments on the loans. That's number 3. All right. And then we're going to pay the rest of the bills. Boom. That's it. That's all 4. That's everything. Okay. So that means there could be some money left over.
Okay.
What do we do with that? We're going to show you how to optimize what's left over. Okay. So let's say we have at least $424.44 left over. Could we give that to the bank in January as well?
Yes.
If we did, the bank would have to subtract that from what we owe in January, and we're paid down to $385,153.60. We're on line 2 already. Which means our next mortgage payment for February is on what line of this schedule?
3.
Line 3. Now, has anybody ever pointed that out to you before?
No.
So what just happened? We just got rid of line 2. We had 360 payments. Now we only have 359 monthly payments because we gave the bank $424.44 that they were expecting next month. We decided to give it to them this month instead. What happened? So we got rid of line 2 with just $424. What happened to the $1,767.23 in interest the bank was looking for on line 2? What happened to that?
Because I've listened to you, it's gone.
It's gone. Isn't that fantastic?
I never would have imagined, but it's gone now.
Interest payments you skip don't matter.
All right.
All right. And so now, what if we did this? We make our mortgage payment in January and we take a look at the next 3 principal payments on line 2, 3, and 4. Okay. We give the bank a little over $1,200. All right. Early. Look how much interest we save on line 2, 3, and 4. We save all of that money. Isn't that fantastic?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, so we saving all of that money. All right, we saved all of that money. And then by saving all of that money, guess what? We're acquiring that equity much cheaper. I need you to take a look at cumulative principal here. That's column 3 and column 4. Look at that. Now I'm going to show you why I love this 5.5 interest rate better than the 2.99% interest rate you just missed just a few weeks ago. All right. So at the end of 1 year, the bank wants you to pay this loan down by how much money in 12 months? Cumulative principal. How much?
$5,199.82.
And how much interest do they want you to pay in 1 year?
$21,100.22.
Do you think they want you paying attention to the $21,000?
Not at all.
Not at all. They just said, listen, we're going to give you a payment, keep making the payment and feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
Just be happy we got you the keys.
That's correct.
Miss Lolita, who's that laughing in the background with you?
My husband.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L. method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.